could take the liberty to back up to your first question, even though I gave a
Please
short
use
answer.
the mic.
Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. The contaminants in the CCR that are, the ones that are regulated are what have to be reported, even a detection of it, which is an important distinction from prior to that rule. The public was only notified if there was a violation of that standard, meaning over the maximum contaminant level. To back up to your previous question about the, is there anything on the horizon that would change or speed up the process and the number of regulations? The EPA gets its authority from Congress. So what is in the act is what we have to follow by the letter of law. So that's where an amendment to the act would fall into, or a reauthorization. But we did progress from what was previously called a quota to a risk-based, scientific, transparent, peer-reviewed process, which unfortunately is not only costly, but it's slow. Because some of the things that Dr. Siskin mentioned, also the vast combinations of the number of chemicals that occur at different levels in the 150,000 public water systems across the country to come up with a national regulation. What can be done is locally a concern can be expressed. And if a desired, let's just say an idealized treatment is desired in a certain locale, that can be done above and beyond any federal standards and be more stringent. Unfortunately, it takes the support and the financial resources to be able to support that type of thing. Sorry, didn't mean to make that the long answer.
Well, so is there actually testing going on of this idea of a cocktail of chemicals in our water, of multiple, the effects of multiple, did I understand you right? Because it is very time consuming and costly, but is, with some of these new chemicals, potentials coming out, is there any testing looking at cumulative effects?
Two different things that you just mentioned. Cumulative effect is different than the synergistic effect.
Synergy, that's the
So
word I meant.
the
That's
cocktail
word
is
I
probably
meant.
a good description of it, and no, I don't know of any, because one of the biggest challenges with testing is, one, proven and approved analytical methods, and then for each one of those, it's easier to do a cumulative effect, which we've done on some groups of chemicals, such as disinfectant byproducts and radiologicals, where you have analytical processes that work for groups of contaminants. I'm not a chemist, so I can't go any further into, I can't even begin to think how you would analyze basically a cocktail of numerous potential contaminants.
Okay, just a couple more and then I'll open it up to you guys.
One thing I wanted to add was, is there research going on? And I think the two doctors next to me could answer that question, but certainly there are a number of journals, CTAC, Journal of Toxicology, a number of other journals where there's daily research and reports that are coming out looking at various forms of chemicals, combination of chemicals and their effects on various animals. So yes, there's a tremendous amount. If anybody goes on the website and starts looking up any particular compound, you'll start finding some of the research. So I think yes, across the world, and because we do have the web, you can go to Germany where you find there's a tremendous amount of research going on, or Australia or other areas. Even in this country, there's a tremendous amount of information that is flowing. So a lot of people are looking at it. Within the state of Florida, we funded individual studies to look at a variety of compounds that might be present in biosolids or residuals or sludge when it's applied, what is getting into the groundwater underneath it. We're looking at microconstituents, which include pharmaceuticals and other types of compounds. We've looked at it from drinking water standpoint in several cities and counties in Central Florida. We looked at well fields in Miami-Dade. When I say we, there's various groups that are conducting research. Are the answers out there? No. I mean, everybody here has talked about the number of compounds. There are 14 million commercially available compounds out there right now. So there's a tremendous amount. I think we have to really think about how we're going to tackle this type of an issue. And I think looking at what I call surrogates, in other words, finding a compound that may be representative of a larger group of compounds and seeing how that behaves when it goes through a sewage treatment plant or a drinking water facility is going to be the only economic way we can try to understand the fate and pathways and how it's behaving.